Greetings.
And salutations.
Howdy, some
Howdy.
might say. Some.
Howdy, yeah. Some. Those of us that are among the elite of intelligent would probably say howdy.
Ooh, maybe.
I think it's gonna catch on. I think it's going places.
If people live to hear it.
It's gonna come back. People,
Yeah.
I think howdy is going to become the professional, like commencement speeches will begin with howdy.
Maybe
Courtroom
it'll replace
trials.
Maybe it'll replace handshaking, because I wonder if handshaking with all this virus spreading, like once we're back to normal, whenever that is, do you think handshaking will be a thing again?
I think it will. It's going to take a while
Yeah.
for people to,
Yeah.
like, I think it will become a thing in about 2 years.
Yeah. Not overnight.
No. And I think that doesn't just go for handshaking. I think a lot of the things that we perceive to be normal,
Right.
is going to take like 2 years before
That's kind of what they're saying.
before that becomes normal again.
Yeah, I feel that's a logical thing to say, because the world is different.
Thanks, man. I'm permitted one logical thing a day, and then
No,
From
I
there.
feel
So-
today's going to be a good day. I'm feeling 2.
2.
Yeah, at least.
I just don't have a second one planned, so
That-
that'll feel really. It's gonna be spontaneous.
'Kay.
I'll be just as surprised as you are.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
So why are we here?
I ask myself that every morning.
The first thing I'd like to I have a question before
Sure.
anything else is said.
Sure.
Wednesday, April 29th. What are you doing?
Oh.
What's up?
I'm sorry, I've got plans if you're asking me to hang out. There's a cool
Oh.
live stream going down that I really want to check out.
Cool is a strong word.
No, like in this case, cool is a bit of an understatement, because it's going to
Okay.
be that cool.
All right.
Yeah. But why do you ask?
Because I just wanted you to plug the event.
So yeah,
I wasn't,
no ulterior motives. So
hey, in a time where we can't hang out, do you want to not hang out?
So what Brady's
That'd be
referring to is we're doing a COVID response live stream on Facebook Wednesday, April 29th from 5 to 10 p.m. We're raising money for likely Food Banks Canada, but for sure some type of charity that is responding to the COVID crisis. There's going to be a ton of guests. It's going to be a fun time. So check it out. We'd love for you to join us.
Stop by, say howdy, and we will
Howdy.
we'll say howdy back.
Oh, howdy. What a word. Yeah, we totally will.
It's a great word. All right. The other reason we're here
Yes.
is Harry Potter.
Yes.
That snot-nosed little brat
Yes.
who defies the rules and doesn't ever seem to reap any consequences.
Yeah, he's kind of a
For it,
spoiled brat, if
really.
you ask me.
I mean, he almost dies every year at school, but that's
Yeah.
whatever.
It's par for the course, though. I mean, doesn't...
Yeah.
At Hogwarts,
We've been
things
working-
go down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been working through the Harry Potter movies.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And
we've done number 1 and number 2.
mm-hmm.
It's time for number 3.
It is time.
Yeah.
So,
Let's not sugarcoat it. Number 3.
Harry Potter...
If you haven't listened to the first 2 episodes,
What are you
get
doing?
your shit together.
Yeah.
Go listen to them.
Come on, boy.
If you haven't seen any of the Harry Potter films,
Mm.
then whatever messed up religious reasons you have for not watching it, just swallow that for a second and go watch the Harry Potter films.
So, number 3, Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Let's start off. I got a couple trivia questions.
All right.
Buckle up.
Trivialize me.
Buckle up. So, number one, I found surprising, so I wanted to share this question with you.
Okay.
So, this film is from 2004.
Agreed.
That was the... Where did this...
That's the question.
That
True.
that was the question. You got it right.
True. Yes.
Yeah. No. So, film from 2004. Where did this film rank in the top 10 grossing films of the year?
Ooh, in the top 10.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm surprised by this because last time you gave me 3 options.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right.
And it was last place.
Right.
So I don't know now. I'm feeling like, are there... I'm trying to... now I'm in the position of what else came out in 2004.
Right. Would you want me to list some things just to kind of give a reference?
Yeah, if you can.
Like, it might give it away, but it's kind of hard to just do it with a shot in the dark, so I think I have to give you something here. So, some random films that came out were, I'm going to say Troy.
Why are they random films?
Well, I don't want to just list, like, the other top ones. They might be, like, the 10th, the 9th, the 8th.
Okay.
That's up for you to discern where it ranked. But,
man, Troy? I feel like that's so weird.
Troy?
I feel like Troy came out forever ago.
2004,
but I guess
man.
so did this Harry Potter movie.
Yeah. So Troy, The Incredibles, Spider-Man 2, and Shrek 2.
Oh. Shrek was a Goliath of a franchise.
And a man.
Like,
an ogre, I guess.
Everybody loved the Shrek movies as they were coming out.
And the people who said they didn't were actually just lying. They did too.
Oh, and then, what was the other one you said that was? Oh, Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 is an incredible movie.
It is. We need to cover it sometime. I feel we both love it so much that it would be a crime not to. Like an actual crime. Like we might go to jail if we don't.
I'm trying to think. Incredibles. You said Incredibles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's big.
Mm-hmm. But question is,
what else?
Where did Prisoner of Azkaban land on this list?
2004. Was that the year that... I'm trying to think if that was the year that The Passion came out.
It is. That is also in the top 10. I just didn't mention that one.
Okay. Because that was, like, people went to go see that. That was it was a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say... I mean, so the films that I've listed...
Yep.
I don't care. Like, Troy, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Troy has got Brad Pitt in it, right?
Sure. Oh, yeah.
But I don't know if it's...
It's all about what you think people spent money on. That's really what it comes down to.
People definitely went to go see Shrek 2.
Sure.
People definitely went to go see Spider-Man 2.
Yep.
Everybody goes to see the Pixar movies.
Yes.
So that was probably really popular.
Okay.
And there's no denying that The Passion was huge.
Sure.
And I don't know that Harry Potter, like, based on the results from the last time we did this, I don't know if Harry Potter is big enough to beat any of those.
To bump any of those out of the top seeds. I see what you're saying.
So I guess that leaves, by default, that leaves me at 5, but it could be higher.
Okay.
Like, there could be it could be 6 or 7, because there could be another film that year that was also huge that I'm just not thinking of and, like, bumped it out.
Right. So you're going to say 5.
It's a stab in the dark.
Oh, for sure. It was actually number 2. Shrek.
Okay.
Shrek 2 was number 1. Harry Potter was number 2. The reason I wanted to ask you this question is I just found this really interesting Because some of the other times I asked this question in the Harry Potter series, it kind of flip-flopped with Lord of the Rings. So the years that both Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings came out, they were fighting for the 1-2 position, and they flip-flopped a bit. So just logically, when I went to go look this up, I'm like, oh, Lord of the Rings was done by 2004. This was a shoe-in for number 1. And I was just really surprised that it wasn't. Now, obviously, like you said, Shrek 2 was just mammoth, so...
So here's my question then. Like, how much did Prisoner of Azkaban make?
Okay, good question. I've got it right here. Let me just zoom in. I think it's 700... Oh, stupid computer. 796 million. And Shrek 2 was 919.
And how much did The Passion make?
611.
Wow.
Yeah. So it went Shrek 2, Harry Potter, Spider-Man 2, Incredibles, Passion.
Interesting.
Yeah. Troy was like number 8. I just threw that in as like a red herring just to throw you off.
And those are adjusted for inflation?
I think actually no. I think that was just in 2004, that's how much money went through the turnstiles.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That is interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So the last question, number 2, because it's the second question. Gary Oldman.
I'm on that train of thought. I'm following what you're saying.
Do you know Gary Oldman? You've met him.
Not as much as I'd like to anymore. There was a falling out.
Okay.
Well, there's something to do with like my uncle's sister.
Oh, okay.
Which makes her my aunt.
Sure.
It's very confusing. But.
It sounds confusing. Well, obviously he played Sirius Black, and I'm wanting my question to you, and I'm going to give you some options. What was his motivation for accepting the role of Sirius Black in the Harry Potter franchise? Are you ready for the options?
Sure.
Okay, there are 4. The first, his children were fans of the books, so his wife, Uma Thurman, urged him to take this unique opportunity.
That's an interesting option because I didn't know his wife was Uma Thurman.
Number 2, eventual co-actor Alan Rickman reached out to Gary Oldman in an effort to bring him aboard the project. 3, Oldman needed the money. 4, he was contractually obligated.
Okay, well, he didn't need the money. And contractually obligated wouldn't make sense because, in order for him to be contractually obligated, he would have had to have already agreed to do it.
Right.
And have signed a contract.
Well, unless he had, signed a contract with a studio or something.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of knowledge of that type of thing happening.
Yeah.
But, but it's possible.
Sure.
The children being a fan of it thing seems to be a story that happens all the time.
Sure.
Which either makes it really likely or that's something that you're also aware of.
Oh.
And makes it likely an option that you would come up with. Alan Rickman is an interesting option because it made me think, what the hell convinced Alan Rickman? Why is he in these movies? I'm going to go with that option, I think.
Sure.
I think that's the one that seems the least suspicious to me.
Sure. So I'm going to tell you which ones are fake and lead up to the real one, okay?
All right.
So contractually obligated was BS.
Right.
The Alan Rickman option was just, I wanted to mention it because Alan Rickman's the boss, and it seemed like a cool thing, but it was fake.
Damn it.
His children were fans of the books. No idea. So his wife, Uma Thurman, who was his wife, but not at the time of this film. They were married and then divorced in the early 90s. So according to my sources, Oldman accepted the part because he needed the money, as he had not taken on any major work in several years after deciding to spend more time with his children prior to this.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there you go.
And I mean, that makes, like, this is the first Gary Oldman film for quite a while. So
I that is quite true, because I looked on his filmography and there were things, but it was all like short films or things that I had never heard of.
Yeah, not high paying.
Not high pay, exactly. Yeah. So cool. Good job. I feel like I enjoy your like deducing of how you're going to come to an answer, because either you have the film knowledge that you're like, hey, I think it's this, or you like try and get in my mind and you're like, I think I know what this guy's up to.
And sometimes it works.
Oh, it's
Today was a fail.
Today was a fail, but
today I'm
there are times it's very interesting.
Trivia loser.
No, don't feel with trivia. There are no losers.
That's not true.
Just go with it.
Don't ever play Trivial Pursuit, because you'll feel your understanding of the world will be shaken when you don't win.
Yeah, shaken but not stirred. There's a plug. Check out our James Bond series, everyone.
Do it.
Do it.
Or don't.
I don't, but do it though.
I mean, those are the options.
Those are the options. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So we talked about this before we started. I'm going to give like a quick 3-minute summary. And
I have no recollection of this, but
you were asleep when I said it. I was talking on your phone, and it was just kind of like to plant the idea in your mind while you were asleep.
Sure. It was like, I am a strong, confident woman.
Yes.
I don't need men to tell me who I am. Like one of those self-help tapes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is for the people who've seen the movie a million times but kind of forget it because they haven't watched it recently. Or if you're listening for some reason and you're not into Harry Potter. I know there's a couple people that have reached out to me that said, hey, like you guys' show. I'm listening. I don't like Harry Potter, but I listen just because I like you guys. So this is just to kind of bring everyone up to speed.
I like that as a new tagline for the show. If you're listening for some reason.
Well,
if for some godforsaken reason you're still listening to this,
first of all, God bless you.
Send help.
Send help.
Our coordinates are I don't know. I like that.
So I'm going to go through a lot of stuff in a short amount of time, so buckle up.
All right.
First, Harry upsets the Dursleys again. Harry takes the most annoyingly depicted bus ride in cinematic history. Harry goes on a train, has a fit, part of his soul is eaten, before the oblivious Lupin wakes up to do his job. New Dumbledore gives his opening address. He buries the lead and throws in a, by the way, demonic beings overlooking every aspect of daily life at Hogwarts, and they'll kill you if you don't want your back. Draco Malfoy is still an ass to Harry and company. The first dark arts teacher, who isn't a complete clown in Lupin, but he still exposes the students to something that's absolutely terrifying, a shapeshifter that shows their worst fears. Hogwarts field trip policy is unfair to orphans or kids with jackass caregivers. Snape and Dumbledore choose to selectively withhold information which could harm Harry. That's an ongoing theme in this series. Hermione, shifting in and out of classes. How peculiar. Snape rides Harry's ass. Says to take care, as loss of limb is no excuse not to get your homework done. And in general, Snape gets in some very good trolling sessions on Harry, and I fully endorse this. Harry loses a Quidditch match. Harry should be in the NFL as an all-pro quarterback with the precision and accuracy he throws snowballs at Malfoy. We find out Sirius Black is Harry Potter's godfather, and in the magic community, he's the scapegoat for the Harry Potter massacre. Not important to the plot, just generally odd. I find it disturbing how there's literal spine and vertebra as candle holders in Dumbledore's office. That's just uncomfortable. There's a hippogriff. It's sentenced to death. Bad guys are happy. Good guys are sad. The impossible occurs. Petey Pettigrew shows up on a map. We find out in a world of magic, executions are still performed in a fashion similar to 1,000 years ago with an axe. A revolving door of Expelliarmus occurs from Sirius to Lupin to Snape, and Hermione is flustered that a teacher was attacked. We find out Peter Pettigrew was the Judas who sold out Harry's parents, and it wasn't Sirius Black. Snape has a few times of incredible timing. Harry and Sirius are saved via a Patronus by Harry's dad? and this poor kid just hangs on to any shred of hope. Hermione and Harry do some Back to the Future or Insidious 2 shenanigans, fix things through a time turner. When Harry says in a surprised tone, "Buckbeak is alive?" I want to just pat Harry on the head, and this is a lot of things I hear on the internet, but I do wonder why the series doesn't revolve around Hermione, because she is just light years ahead of Harry and Ron as far as ability and interest. Sadly, Harry can't be roomies with Sirius Black, like they kind of briefly had hoped. And finally, Harry gets a new whip, a fancy broom, and it's apparently pretty baller. And that is Prisoner of Azkaban.
All right. So thanks for listening. This is part of our. It's part of a new approach we have. We call it the trim the fat model. We're just gonna kind of, give you what you paid for, and then get the hell out. Kind of
this is an option for the people who don't want to rewatch the film but want to listen to the podcast, because there you go.
Right. Did you write that?
I did.
Wow.
I didn't plan it. I just kind of was writing things when I went along, and then there was just it's all just kind of things that I was like, this is basically the whole film in like a few lines. There you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can it be so? Now I want to get into this, and I want to start it off with a question to you.
I just feel uncomfortable elaborating any further. But
no,
sure. Yeah, we can.
Never feel uncomfortable unless you should. So,
in which case, do.
In the previous episode, I forget if it was number 1 or number 2, you kind of made a statement, and I want you to restate this statement just so I'm not misquoting you. But it had to do with Hogwarts, and you were wondering if it kind of lost its kind of status as a character. And I'm curious, and I'm going to ask you this as we go on in these films. How did this film stand up to your theory? I want you to walk through that.
All right. So I've actually made a couple of statements.
Ooh.
And yeah, I'd like to address a couple of them.
Sure.
Statement number 1, the one you're talking about, is that Hogwarts has lost its status as a character. And I do feel very much like if it does retain that status in this one, it's just by the hair on its back that it was able to
right.
to do that. There's no, there's the Shrieking Shack, right, and the discovery of the tunnel under that like comes up under Honeydukes and stuff like that. But a lot of that isn't Hogwarts. A lot of that is Hogsmeade Village.
Yes. Yeah. That's true.
And aside from that, there's just nothing that happens that is, like we see the Transfiguration tower, not Transfiguration. What the class that Emma Thompson is teaching?
I'm drawing a blank. It starts with a D, doesn't it?
The divination.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So we see that.
Yep.
And so that's kind of, but I mean, it's just not like in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
In the first movie, Hogwarts feels like this living, breathing,
right,
organism that has so many secrets of its own.
Right.
Especially in the second one, when you've got the Chamber of Secrets and you've got like
for sure
just all this secrecy from the past, and the fact that Myrtle has spent the last 50 years in this bathroom,
right,
because of this event that and it's all relevant, and then Prisoner of Azkaban just fails to do that for me.
Right.
So I don't know. I would say that statement is one that for this film, at least, I'm prepared to stand behind.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, it definitely feels different, right?
Yeah. Just didn't have quite the same pop.
Yeah.
Another statement I made was that I hate Michael Gambon as Dumbledore, and I love Richard Harris, and that I'm broken-hearted over the unfortunately necessary change.
Right, and I don't think you're alone.
And I don't know. There were moments where, like during his opening speech, I missed Richard Harris during the opening speech. I was like, oh man,
right.
You know, because he gives, he's like, you know, hello and welcome to another year at Hogwarts, and like this is not meant to actually be an impression of him, but like, you know, the Dementors are very like he's got kind of like this, you know, a little more powerfulness to him. Whereas Richard Harris's Dumbledore would have been very, you know, this year, he just Richard Harris's Dumbledore just sort of was leaking wisdom everywhere he went.
Right.
Right. And was a little quieter, and I think therefore translated into more mysterious.
Oh, true. Yeah. I could take that.
And so I don't think there were any moments in this film where I thought to myself, I wouldn't rather have Richard Harris. But I didn't hate Michael Gambon's performance quite the way I was anticipating, or quite the way I remembered hating it.
Interesting.
There's still a really great moment in this one with Dumbledore. I think the best moment for Dumbledore is when they're in the infirmary.
Yes.
And Ron's lying in the bed and he's got like a broken leg.
Yeah.
And as Dumbledore is talking to Harry and Hermione, he just keeps like hitting Ron's leg.
Like, what the hell?
And to me, that's so great because that's just like it feels so Dumbledore. It feels very like the fact that he, as serious as Dumbledore is, and as old and wise and everything else, Dumbledore loves having a good. Dumbledore knows damn well what he's doing.
Oh, obviously, yeah.
He knows he's hurting Ron.
Yeah.
But it's just funny.
It's
just, you know, yeah. So I think, stand by both of those statements to an extent.
For sure. I think, particularly on your second statement, I think I'm a little more on the fence. Obviously, I do greatly miss Richard Harris. Like, he pulled a fantastic Dumbledore. I don't hate the new interpretation of Dumbledore. I know there are some people who feel strongly about it's just a complete drop off. I don't hate the current one. I obviously just miss Richard Harris.
Yeah, well, and what I'm curious about is why, like, okay, so Richard Harris was the actor who portrays Dumbledore has changed, and that's for obvious reasons.
Sure.
That was unavoidable.
Yeah.
I'm going to run some other changes past you.
Sure.
And
actually, just for clarity, just in case there are more people who aren't listening, like Richard Harris passed away, just for the people who haven't seen Harry Potter.
Right. But if you haven't seen Harry Potter, then the only reason you're listening is because you like the sounds of our voice. And my thoughts on that would be get help.
It's a very, very rational thought that you say. But I have had a couple people say they're listening and they're not Harry Potter fans. So,
jeez. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're here. I would maybe reach out to someone. So
who else for
should be medicated?
Who else for character changes?
There's not even just character changes.
Okay.
So just changes in the film.
Sure.
Overall, and I'm gonna slap you upside the face with them, and I want to hear what your thoughts on each one are.
Yeah, for sure.
So first and foremost, we have a change in director here.
Yes, that's true.
Which through that, we've had a complete change in color grade. So in the first two Harry Potter films, it's kind of a very warm, happy palette.
Okay. Yep.
And this one, they went a lot more for the blues. So at any given point, if there's a white wall or there's something white in the scene, and you look at the white and pause the movie, you can pick up a lot of blue in the white.
Oh, interesting.
So they really kind of went for this more darker, dismal, rundown, less welcoming, more serious tone.
Right.
And what are your thoughts?
So I've had this conversation recently with someone, and it's kind of interesting that what you're saying, it's kind of the confirmation bias. I'm like, oh yeah, that's true. Like the color grade is different, and obviously just the film has a bit of a just different tone in general, and that you can kind of perceive. I don't think all the other previous times I watched the films I could actually put my finger on the pulse to be like, this is what's different. I just kind of knew that from 3 onward there was a bit of a difference than 1 and 2.
Yeah, that you just look at it and go, this looks different.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's what it is they've done some color.
Right.
Color, because I mean, all films, people don't. I guess not everyone knows this.
Sure.
All film has color correction done and is that sort of cinematic tone that you're familiar to. It doesn't come out of the camera looking like that. That's all applied afterwards.
Right. Yeah. Interesting.
With the right piece of editing software, we could shoot something on your cell phone and manipulate it that it would look pretty cinematic.
Interesting.
So that's change number 1.
Okay.
Change number 2 is some further recasting and some further stylistic changes that I don't fully understand.
Okay.
This is a small one.
Sure.
But the woman in the painting of the Gryffindor common room is different.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I picked up on it.
Yeah. So in this one, she's young and she's like trying to get the glass to break with her voice, and she's like, "Look at my voice!" And all of Whereas in the first 2, she was like this, like older Victorian kind of like password, and they're like cabbage trichonis. And she like opens and stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah. So it's not a big deal.
Right. Okay. That one I can live with.
Yeah. Not a recasting, but a complete character redesign of Professor Flitwick. So Warwick Davis is still the actor playing him. But if you remember in the first one, when they're learning Wingardium Leviosa, Professor Flitwick has got like kind of Albert Einstein crazy gray hair, and it's all springy and all over the place, and he's got kind of a more of a goblin-y kind of, like not quite human face on him.
Okay.
And then by the time we reach this film and we get to Hogwarts and he's conducting the choir, he's got like a mustache and black hair, and he looks much more human in the face. So that, like, okay. So it was just like a director came in and he's like, no, to hell with that.
You should look like this.
Yeah, Tom, the bartender, the guy that owns and runs the Leaky Cauldron.
Oh, yes.
In the first one, Tom is just sort of, the nicest average bloke that you could hope to meet. Sure. Right? He's at the bar and Hagrid brings Harry in, and he goes, "Usual Hagrid," as he's like, cleaning out a mug, and he's all friendly and whatever.
Right.
And then we reach this one, and I don't know, is his middle name Igor? Because he's like, and he's like this hunched over IQ of 4 kind of. Right. Like, what the hell happened to Tom?
Yeah. It's been a rough year.
So that's a stylistic change and a recasting. And then just other things that, like, geographically with the castle, they moved to the Whomping Willow.
Right.
They moved Hagrid's hut. Hagrid's hut is not in the same spot that it was in the first two films.
Right. No.
And it's just stuff like that where it's like, why? Why was that change made? Why not stick to your, like, pick, if you're coming into a series
right.
that someone else has been directing, you're taking over.
Sure.
I feel like you should be somewhat bound by creative decisions that were made prior to you.
Yeah, like I understand putting your own fingerprint on something, but when something is established, and I would say working, like it's not like a train wreck of a series, like sure makes, yeah, I would agree. I'm not sure what the motivations were.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That Quidditch match.
Yes.
Is just another, I think, wonderful example of the entire disregard that the Hogwarts faculty has for student life.
I have a point to add on to that, but I want you to continue. I agree.
Well, and I mean, but I like it.
Oh, okay.
Because to me, it's just, and I think it's so jarring to Harry as well, but it's not jarring to anyone else, right? Like it's not jarring to the Weasleys that that life is just dangerous, and as a student, it's possible that one day you'll be eaten by a troll, and this school shouldn't be held accountable for that. That's just
which is wild.
It's a life. It's a thing that can happen, right?
Yeah.
People catch the cold.
Yeah.
People get eaten by trolls, and people die during Quidditch matches. Like people, and so I don't know. To me, it's just it's another thing that helps make the wizarding world seem foreign and fantastical.
Right.
Right, is that they face situations that and I think part of it is that because they've got magic, right? So that they'll regularly face situations that seem far more dangerous than anything we would ever do.
Oh, for sure.
Because we can regrow bones if we have to.
Right.
Like, we can do all kinds of stuff that it's much easier to bring you back from the edge of death than it would be in the Muggle world.
Oh yeah. There's some leeway.
So I wonder if that attributes to some of it.
Quite possibly. And the point I have is very much in line with what you're saying, less so about the staff, but it's when the faculty, like the teachers, when the Quidditch match, when Harry wakes up and everyone just kind of pussyfoots around about the bad news that, first of all, they lost the match, and I'm sorry, Harry, but your broom is broken. And I literally could not care. And I think that's the drastic difference of what you're talking about in their world versus ours. Like in their world, a child, like a student dying is just unfortunately a part of the reality that they live in. It's with me, like in the world that we exist in, I'm like, who gives a crap about a broom or a match? This child dropped from the skies. He survived. That is the big thing. Everything else seems so insignificant, but it just highlights the contrast between their existence and ours.
And there's definitely a contrast because go back to the second film where we've had like 2 or 3 students petrified.
Yeah.
And the discussion that's happening is, if this continues, we may have to close the school.
We're not going to do anything rash. We're going to wait. We gotta
let's
level
see
heads.
how this plays out.
It's too soon to make a decision. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true, right?
Yeah. So another thing.
Sure.
Just kind of something I noticed, but then after that we'll talk about sort of my overall thoughts on this. I guess.
Go on.
Yeah. When they're escaping with Sirius Black.
Okay.
Like they're at the end of their time turning thing.
Yes.
And they've got Sirius on the hippogriff.
Yes. Okay, yep.
And they're flying away from the prison tower.
Flying away from prison tower. Gotcha. Okay.
It's something that most schools have.
Mine did. Didn't yours?
No.
Okay.
Sirius is wailing like a friggin' banshee. He's like, woo! Like he's having the time of his life, and this is amazing, and he's free.
Yeah.
And my thoughts are, shut up. You are going to get caught. Shut up.
Yeah. It does it.
There are still Dementors afoot. There's still, like, what are you doing?
It matches the emotional intensity that the scene is portraying, but does not match the reality of shut the heck up. You be caught if you don't.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree entirely.
I never actually kind of paid attention to that till you mentioned that, but that's a very good point.
Thank you. Okay, so overall, this film introduces an interesting element of time travel.
So it does, and it's become. I'm just gonna butt in here because this has become a tradition in these Harry Potter episodes where I make a reference to the superior Lord of the Rings, and I just want to know why this time turner can't be used to redo and fix bigger problems like Voldemort. It's kind of in the same aspect of in Lord of the Rings. Why couldn't they use the Eagles to help the team destroy the ring? Like, why can't you use this amazing resource to do something actually of significance?
Yeah, and I think both of those are fairly easily explained away.
I guess. I don't know.
Right? Like in the Lord of the Rings, the reason why we can't do that is literally because of the Nazgul.
I guess.
Because there's like these big nasty bird, like it just is too big of a gamble. It wouldn't work.
Yeah,
there's too much at stake. And this one, I feel like they just explain it away pretty easily by saying, really awful things happen to witches and wizards who meddle with time.
Okay, yeah, I guess.
Right. It's just it's something we can do.
Sure,
but it's stupid dangerous.
Right.
And so it should only be used frivolously by students in order to attend more classes than they should.
Yeah, come on, Hermione.
So the time travel is interesting. It's something we haven't seen in Harry Potter before. It's something we don't end up seeing again.
I thought for a minute, like I wasn't sure how far back in time they were going to go. I really thought they were going to go to like a 1950s prom. And Harry was going to be in a car and his mom was going to try and kiss him. I thought that's where it was going.
Oh, well, that's a pretty uneducated guess, I would say. Like, I feel no need to protect your feelings about that. That's just stupid.
Well, Back to the Future stupid?
No, okay. But...
No, I'm just kidding.
Anyways, this is also the only Harry Potter film where the main threat isn't Voldemort.
That's true. Yeah.
And then ultimately, what we think is the main threat isn't actually the main threat
at all.
And like, it's kind of hard to nail down. Like, technically, the villain of this film is Peter Pettigrew.
Technically.
But he doesn't really pose a threat.
No.
At any point. We don't battle him.
No. It's like miscommunication misinformation was the biggest threat.
Yeah. And just, like the race against time.
Right.
The race of being able to save lives that otherwise will unnecessarily be taken.
Right.
So, and I don't know. I know a couple of people. I know one person who this is their favorite Harry Potter film.
Really?
And they would I think as a teenager, they would do the thing. We're like teenagers. You're not supposed to fall asleep watching TV, but anyone who had a TV in their room,
oh for sure,
would you would just do it anyway.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure they fell asleep. They would put this film on nightly to fall asleep to.
Well, I mean, I can see why, because it's not that good.
So that's your take?
No,
you don't
I'm
really
just,
like this one?
I'm just kidding. I'll save my take for the very end. I'm not that negative. I don't think it's a bad film, but
right.
I just wanted to take a shot.
I think that's I don't have anything else to add.
I want to add. I'll add a couple more quick things.
Okay.
So the first is I picked up on this because I've been paying more attention, knowing where the series goes, and I'm trying to see if I can pick things up or if it's just me being kind of thrown off by unintentional things. But from a character perspective, I did find it interesting watching Snape and his motivation of tracking down Sirius Black when he perceived that Sirius Black had killed Harry's mother, and watching his intensity and knowing the true emotion behind this intensity, and just where he's like, "Give me a reason, I beg you." Just I found
he loved Lily.
Yes, so I found that interesting. There was a scene where I was actually transported. Although I never watched this as a child, I was almost transported into a childlike state where it was like I wasn't watching a movie as an adult anymore, intellectually thinking about what was happening, and I just enjoyed it. It was the kind of seasonal montage where whatever the owl's name, Steve, Greg, Hedwig, there you go. And just from a film viewer point of view, you see Hedwig flying, and then they use the skyline, and then it starts to snow, and then it pans to the snow-laden campus, and obviously John Williams' little pixie-dusted soundtrack kind of caps it all off. But just that kind of scene really was magical to me. And I watched that scene, I'm like, okay, it just kind of changed the way I was watching this film. It was interesting. The last thing I want to touch on is just a one-dimensional thing about the feasts that happen at Hogwarts. And everyone talks about just the actual physical magic that is Hogwarts and the history of Hogwarts and the school and everything that comes with it. I just want to be there for one of the feasts. Just not for the food, but they just seem joyous and enchanted, and just the true sense of everyone together in community and celebration. They just seem really dope.
So, while talking about physical magic, you from the book standpoint, do you know how the feasts work? Do you know how that magic is being done?
Not particularly, no.
So, under the directly under the Great Hall, is the kitchen.
Okay.
And so the food is being made. It's not just being, created out of nothing.
Out of thin air.
And so there's a kitchen, but the kitchen has got, I think all the cooking facilities are around the outside of the room, and then the center of the room has tables laid out in the exact same layout as the Great Hall is above it. Okay. And so and it's almost like a mimicking kind of magic that's done. So what they do is they set all the food out on those tables. They set the tables in the below, and then it's sent up through magically, and all appears above.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. By house elves. It's just house elves down there that are slaving away. Yeah.
So yeah, ultimately, my thoughts on this film, I don't think it's bad. I think it's a fun watch. I just, kind of what we talked about, that Voldemort isn't directly involved. I do kind of feel, if I had to nickel and dime it, it's a bit of a filler film, because our villain in this film isn't really a villain. It's actually Harry Potter's, like, BFF, it turns out. And I feel not a whole lot is progressed in the whole big story picture. So I gave it 7.7. So,
I mean, Peter Pettigrew is an important character. Like, understanding him is important moving forward. It is,
but I feel more could have been done. Like, if we had to erase one film out of this series so far, I'm wondering if it could be this one. Just because, yes, there's like little tidbits that are crucial to the plot, but a whole lot of other stuff was just kind of fun and captivated us into the world of Hogwarts, but wasn't necessarily key or important.
Interesting. Yeah. To me, having read the books, the one thing that I think is the biggest sin in the translation of this into film is and it's kind of there if you have read the books and you have knowledge about Harry Potter and you really choose to look for it.
Sure.
But they just don't flat out say it. And there's a couple of conversations between Harry and Lupin that I think they could have easily slipped it in the course of like 45 seconds. And I think it's, I don't know, it's just such a heartwarming, magical part of the story that when I read it in the books, having it not really been in the movie, I was like, what? This is crazy. Like, why was this not in the movie? Why did we not? And so that's that. So in this, we see the introduction of the Marauders map. Right. So Harry's got this map.
True.
That allows him to see the castle and everyone walking around inside of it.
Right.
And it's Prod, Wormtail, someone else proudly present the Marauders map. But what they don't tell you in the movie, like, so if you're intuitive, then you'll pick up on the fact that, wait, Wormtail, that's a name that we use for Peter Pettigrew moving forward. We call him Wormtail. And so the Marauders and those other three nicknames belong to Sirius, Lupin, and James Potter. And that those four were the Marauders, and those four made that map when they were at Hogwarts.
Right.
And to me, when I was reading that, I was like, what? Like, it was such a mind-blowing moment.
Right. Yeah.
Because I was like, this is crazy. This is so cool. Harry's dad helped make the Marauders map? What?
Right.
And it's just not in the film. And
that's, yeah.
And yeah, there's several, it'd be so easy. Like when he first confiscates the map from Harry, just a simple line that was like, Harry, when your father and I made this map, we could never have imagined that 30 years later it would wind up in the hands of,
That's actually true. That would have been actually a very cool aspect, and it wouldn't have taken much.
Simple little, just plug it in there so that, because it feels like it's such a big thing to leave out.
Yeah. Something, because while we're talking about things between the book and the film that are different, something I've had a conversation with someone about that they found a little bit of irking, and from myself, who I haven't read the books, but I just find atrocious, is just the whole depiction in the scene with the night bus showing up and that whole sequence of Harry on that bus. I just find it awful. And one person's opinion, I'm not saying everyone's, I'm curious if you agree or disagree, they just don't like that portrayal of it in the film.
I would have to go back and reread that scene in the book.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm sure it's probably somewhat different.
Sure.
But not having the book as a reference point.
Right.
I love that scene. I think that scene's so much fun. And one of my, I think, probably the best line in the entire film happens in that scene.
Which one?
And it's when Harry's on, like, you know, he's kind of just gotten onto the bus,
right?
And the conductor guy, the guy taking the tickets, is reading the newspaper, and Harry's like, "Excuse me, who is that?" Right? And there's like Sirius Black, and who is that? Who is that? That there's Sirius Black. He's a murderer, right? Like all of this, like, exposition and basically just saying like who he is. And he's like, you know, you've never heard of Sirius Black? And he's like, no, I haven't. And he's like, you know, he was a big follower of you know who. Surely you've heard of him. And Harry, and the best line in the movie is Harry goes, yeah, him I've heard of. And it's like, it's just this, it's to me it's so good because it's like this conductor has no idea that this is Harry Potter.
Right.
And that there's probably no one who's more familiar with Voldemort and what he's capable of and what devastation he creates. And I'm like, it's just so, like, that line of, like, you know, it's just so subtle that Harry is like, Harry could be like, like, bitch, do you not know who I am? Like, I'm Harry freaking Potter. Like, it's
not obnoxious. It's just a very subtle line.
It's like, yeah, him I've heard of.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? I will buy that interaction is interesting, but just overall, I'm not a fan of the scene.
Okay. I also I'm a sucker for the Jamaican accent, so the shrunken head gets, you know.
Actually, so just kind of like the Snape, like, we know where this series goes. We know what happens with the characters. I liked when they're outside the haunted house and Hermione suggests that they should move a bit closer. And Ron is kind of stunned and bumbling his words. And, like, he thinks, like, move closer to her. And that's how I read it anyway. And maybe it's an interesting,
I remember the first time I watched these movies. And I mean, I think everyone's assumption was Harry's going to end up with Hermione.
That was my assumption.
So the Ron and Hermione romance is, it's unique, and I think it's fun to watch it unfold.
And we saw it just like a few little seeds here and there.
Yeah, and I think, you know, I think it's good because ultimately it's more fun to watch Harry. It's more fun to watch the relationship between Harry and Ron when Harry starts eyeing up Ginny.
True. Yeah.
And so to me, that's just fun as well. That
it
like,
is.
You know, that's my sister, man. Like,
you back away.
You monkey. All right.
Yeah.
So you gave it a 7 point what?
A 7.7. So to me, it still falls within the highest ranking it can get, that I would pay money to see it in theaters. Obviously, it's not a bad film. I just wonder, of the Harry Potter films so far. Actually, I know there's a couple coming up. We're kind of getting into the purgatory. There's a couple that I'm not a huge fan of, but I don't think this is my favorite.
Okay.
Where would you classify its status?
I give it a 7.6.
Cool.
So very, very similar.
I like how similar that is. That's dope.
That's good. And I mean, I think I feel all of the same. Like everything you just said, I agree with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Something I wanted to ask you.
Oh yeah. Don't hold back. Feel
week?
Free. Oh, what I watched. Oh, like what I watched. Okay.
Yeah. Like what sorts of cinematic adventures did you embark on, Mr. Baggins?
I like it. The second Lord of the Rings reference. I like it. So
maybe I was referencing The Hobbit.
Yeah. Oh, how presumptuous of me. So I watched your recommendation of The Secret Window.
Nice.
So if anyone's not familiar,
you stole my story.
You stole my story. You got to make it right. So if anyone is not familiar, it's a 2004 film, kind of, I guess, would it be suspense thriller? I think that's what the classification would be. I didn't realize, but it makes sense so I had seen it once back in 2004. I've seen it again, and it makes sense now, and all things are coming together. It is a movie based on a Stephen King novel.
Yes.
So
oh yeah.
everything that comes with that. I don't think I was aware of that before. Couple comments. One, oh boy, a younger Johnny Depp.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like he was a bit ahead of his time, because when I watched him in this film, like his glasses, his hair, his hat, his facial hair, I feel like he was 10 years a bit too soon from being a hipster at Starbucks. It's actually like, it's really funny, because I forgot how, like, I would be watching this and I'm like, this isn't modern day. This is 2004. This guy
he was a trendsetter.
He was a trendsetter. I'm just trying to picture where this was in Johnny Depp's, like, this would have been before Pirates? I can't. When did Pirates
I think
start?
it would have been right around the same time.
Right around
maybe
the same
even
time?
after the first one, maybe.
Okay. Interesting. Couple things. The sheriff was a carryover from About Schmidt, and the new husband, Ted, was a wiener.
Very much so.
But I enjoyed this. I absolutely loved the recommendation. Although I knew where the film was going, I hadn't seen it for so long that I was able to just soak in all that it had to offer, and I was able to appreciate it more than 15 years ago when I was much younger and didn't appreciate the subtleties of film. So it was still very enjoyable. I want to know from you, had you seen this before? And what did you know going into it?
I had seen it before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
But the first time I watched it was only about a year ago.
Oh.
And
cool.
And I knew nothing about it except Johnny Depp was in it.
Right.
No clue. Didn't know there was a twist. Didn't know. Didn't know any of it.
Because that's what I was curious, if you had any theories or if you were as flabbergasted as I was the first time.
I was flabbergasted.
Cool.
Yeah, I had no idea. It becomes pretty early on it becomes clear pretty early on that something's up.
Right.
But yeah.
Right. Cool. So, the only other thing I watched this week is, I'm trying to get it up here on a list. So one was a film, the other was an 8-minute, I'm going to call it a documentary because that's going to be my recommendation to you. So the film itself was a classic, I guess you'd call it. I don't even know. It's called The River Runs Through It. So it has a young Gordon Levitt Jr. and a young Brad Pitt in it. I'm not going to have you sit through it for two reasons. One, I actually haven't finished it yet. I'm about 75% through. The other, what I've watched so far, like, I don't want to subject you to it because I'm not really picking up what it's laying down.
Okay.
I've heard of this film, and I think it's famous. I think it's noteworthy. I just don't think it's that good. Maybe next week after I've seen the last 25% of it, maybe if it blows my mind and there was a robot twist ending or something, I don't know. But
right.
It's just not very captivating, and I'm not just going to arbitrarily make you watch it just because it was really the only feature film I watched this week. So
fair enough.
My recommendation to you, not just because I am out of options, but that's also kind of one of the things that I am out of options. But I watched this 8-minute documentary, and it's about a Super Bowl halftime show. And the reason I find it captivating is because it's about Prince. And it's just a very quick feature. Like, it's just about Prince and when he performed the halftime show, I think in 2007. And I just find it interesting. After we watched A Star Is Born and just kind of, I know it's a fictional story, but just the story of just different performers and what's involved with performing and just the rise of kind of just your ascension to greatness and all that kind of jazz. I want you to watch it just because I was captivated by it. It's interesting, just some of the problems, some main problems that could have been posed with this performance, like when millions upon millions of people are watching you on live TV, and Prince just literally soaked it in and embraced it and just pulled off one of the most memorable performances in history, or at least Super Bowl history. So I'm not the biggest Prince fan. I think he's interesting, and I'm not the biggest Super Bowl halftime show fan, but I think this is interesting. And it's 8 minutes, so even if you hate every minute of it, you won't lose that much of your life.
Okay. And
so,
you've got a link to send?
I will absolutely. Actually, well, my plan was to reenact it to you and send you the video, but I could just send you the YouTube link.
Right.
So just let me know. I am curious, though. You do raise my curiosity of what you watched this week.
So I'm trying to remember. Okay, so you made a recommendation to me.
Right.
And I watched it the night that you recommended it to me,
right.
Which means it was a week ago,
right.
Which means I cannot remember what it was called.
Well,
I wonder if part of that was
Ooh.
intentionally, like if my mind is working at erasing those memories.
Right. So I'm going to mix, like it was like Ghostbusters mixed with Star Wars. Had some Kylo Ren, some...
Yep, that's pretty much... I just can't remember the title.
The Dead Don't Die, or Only the Dead Die.
Right. Yeah, that's it. I mean...
Yeah, what'd you think?
It's still not as bad as Lost in Translation.
And
I mean that, like, that's not a... I mean that.
I know you. The thing that like pokes that knife in there and twists it is I know you mean that. It's just. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not good.
I was a little disappointed.
The story's not good. The acting's not good. It's something that I feel like had potential.
Mm-hmm.
And just failed to realize that potential at every turn.
Mm-hmm. I was waiting for some moment to just grab me by the reins and be like, here you go, like this is what you're going to hold on to with this film. And
this is the reason you're watching this?
Yeah, and it just never happened. And I feel there are like a lot of nuances that the film was doing, like from a creative perspective, that they're like, hey, let's do all these interesting things. Let's break the third wall. Let's talk about that we're in a movie. And it was more just like things that you check off on a checklist of like, oh, isn't that interesting? But when the film was done, I still was like, well, that was 2 hours that I didn't really enjoy. So yeah, it was what it was.
Yeah, that's about all there is to that.
For sure. What else did you view?
The only other film I watched, which is my recommendation to you, which I'll tell you flat out, I didn't enjoy. But okay. I think it's still. I am going to get you to watch it because because it's a modern. It's a recent film, and so and it's a blockbuster film.
Oh,
and so I think it. I think watching it and forming opinions, I think it has interesting implications on this actor's career, and moving forward, and yeah. So, anyways, the film I watched was Dolittle, which Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Dolittle movie.
I had someone recently recommend it to me.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. It's got heart, but it's just poorly executed.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been the type of person. There's lots of people have been talking about how, Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr., they will return to the MCU at some point. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if you could do that and not just piss everybody off.
Right. Right.
And just make everyone feel like everything that happened in Endgame was
right
for nothing and like none of it mattered. And
right.
But I don't know. Like after watching this and the response that this had, I kind of think that if that opportunity came knocking, I don't think Robert would turn it down.
So I'm going to be honest.
Okay.
This is not going to be an easy, and I know like you didn't like it, so your goal is not to win me over, but this movie is gonna have a pretty uphill battle with me. And
Sure.
I've said this before, just as a human being, and I'll say it again. I love the Robert Downey Jr., Jude Law, Sherlock Holmes films. And due to scheduling conflicts, just because Robert Downey was so busy with MCU films, they've put off the next installment of Sherlock Holmes. And I think they have one scheduled, maybe 2021, I forget exactly. But finally that he's out of the MCU, there's a shot that we might get one in the near future. So anything that's even remote, and I could put it off, I can put up with putting it off because MCU was what it was. Like, it was amazing, it was historical, it was worthy of his time. But if we're putting it off, if we're putting off the next Sherlock Holmes by even a day sooner than it could have been here for the sake of Doolittle, I have a problem with that, good sir.
Well.
So. But I am curious to watch it. I will.
I just think it's relevant.
Sure.
I think
it's
so. Important to see it because it's it's relevant.
Sure.
So,
right.
Anyways, thank you everyone for strapping in on this. Excuse me. Bullshit of an episode.
Whoa.
Unless you really enjoyed it, unless you were like, man, this was the episode of all episodes, in which case you were wrong. But it wasn't bad. I don't know if we've had a bad episode.
I don't think so. And
I mean, I don't know.
I'm just going to sidestep that and just remind everyone, because we already did it once, so let's do it again.
Wednesday.
Tune in Wednesday. Do it.
Wednesday, April 29th, 2020.
Yes. Let's all work together for a greater collective.
Hop over on Facebook. We're going to be going live via our Facebook page for 5 hours. We've got a bunch of different guests lined up.
So many
people who have been on the show before, including Blue Jay's dad, Nathan Grunman, who hasn't been on the show. Wow, there's stuff in my throat, man. I don't know. I'm dying here.
That's not cool.
It's gross. Nathan Grunman, who hasn't been on our show yet, but we've been on his podcast, the Game Changer podcast. Daphne Kirkpatrick, who is one of our leading fans. Stefan Duchesne, who has been on the show and is the host of the Naturist Living Show podcast. And so we'll be on to talk to us about that. Wait till you see his mustache. You weren't able to see his mustache when he was on the podcast, but holy Pete and a gravy monkey's uncle. It's a nice mustache. It's a mustache like you don't see anymore.
Right. It's a mustache that makes you want to say howdy. I think you'd see that in the Old West.
Maybe.
But
not on a cowboy.
No.
On like the banker. Or something.
Absolutely.
The guy that ran the bank and is a little more...
The guy who owns the whole town.
Yeah, pretty much. It's not like a prospector type.
No.
So anyways, check in.
Did you mention Blue Jay's dad?
Yep. Yeah, I said Blue Jay's dad.
Sorry, I missed that.
So check in. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have an open chat comment section in which you can... just ask us anything.
Did you mention Brad Pitt?
No. I was going to keep that. I wanted that to be sort of like a... Maybe I'll edit that part out.
Edit that out. Yeah,
I want that to be like, our little ace that we keep in our back pocket.
Of course. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you. I'm going to go clear my throat and,
stay safe. Keep social distancing. We are as well.
We'll see you when we see you.